Hello, greetings. I'm back again. It's 888. It's very unusual for me to be back again twice, but you know what? Very intense energies going on right now, and so I've been guided to go by the water. So I'm by the docks here in Haverstraw. You can see in the background, I'm at the Haverstraw Marina. And this is where a lot of people come from New York City and come to Rockland County. So if you know, I'm in Rockland County. So it's a beautiful day today. It's nice and warmer today than it was yesterday. Yesterday felt like it was fall, but now it's like we're back to summer again. So you know what? In everything we give God thanks and praise. So you can hear the song in the background that I'm playing, The Heart of a Lion. See? It is the Lion's Gate portal that we're in. You know what that means? It means like you have a choice that you already have, or you're continuing to be in another timeline. And when you say, what do you mean by that? A timeline means that you can leave those old energies and the old ways of how you've been doing things, you know what I mean? And you step into another level of consciousness, the way that you recreate your world and how you want life to be. I'm going to give you another view. My shoe fell off. Of the background in the mountain. You see the mountains there? See how beautiful it is? That's where I receive a lot of divine messages from the mountain. And then I'm going to turn around here. You can see this is a part of the ocean that connects from between Rockland County and Manhattan. The sky is so beautiful. I just had to stop what I was doing. I said I had to come down here, and I wanted to bring on more messages. It's a continuation of yesterday. So if anybody has anything in particular that you would like for me to discuss today again, continuing, I would be more than happy to do that. There were some things that I went back and reviewed that I did not get to discuss, but you know, there's so much to talk about, and we have all the time in the world, don't we? So just know that in this moment of now, you're continuing to heal, recreate, shift, transcend, just move through more and more stuff. So I received a lot of contact from others where they said that they feel in the intensity, and yes, it is intense, and it's also it makes you feel spacey, because I was feeling kind of spacey. So you all tell me now any symptoms you've been having or anything you've been feeling. Type and let me know what you have been experiencing yourself, and I can probably get even some more insight, because I love when I get interaction into all of this and what's going on. Time is speeding up, you know, it's really speeding up. Also, I forgot to talk about that yesterday, because a lot of us are talking about how much things are speeding up. It's like you're trying to squeeze in time into everything that you might want to do, and it's just a part of just coming into more surrender with all of this, you know, because at some point we're just not going to have any more time. What I mean by that is time is not going to make a difference. Like right now I go by Ethiopian time. You know what that is? That's where you say I'll be there between so and so time, instead of being locked down to time. And because, you know, on the other side there is no time, because time is now here. In other words, N-O space T-I-M-E, because time is now. It is now here. It is now here in the present. So what is this heart of a lion and courage, you know, today, this portal? And just know, just so you know, that the portal doesn't just start today and ends today. No, this is continuing all the way until, from what I heard, August 14th. We're also, forgot to mention yesterday, that we are also heading into Mercury retrograde. That's right, that's another planet going to retrograde, and it's usually good for me. I don't know how it is for you, but what it means is that we are also reviewing some more things that have come up for us now and then, that we're going back and we're reviewing. We're going back and reviewing things that we're experiencing, like I spoke about yesterday, more than one time. Like if you have experienced something before and it's coming back again, something that may come up for healing. It could be anything that could be coming up for healing. Got interrupted by messages. And so we're reviewing things that may come up for healing. And when that happens and that occurs, that means that there may be, you know, crying, purging involved. It also may mean that you're facing the mirrors that are in front of you, whether it's through your twin or someone else that is in your life. Because, you know, the mirrors that we have is not just reflecting from your twin, but also from other people that you're interacting with. So of course we know that anybody who's a twin soul knows how that feels and how it's magnified. That's the word that I'm looking for. It's magnified That means it's more intense. It's more intense. So I wanted to get back into the heart of the lion. That a song that I was just playing not too long ago, a reggae song. You know, we have the fighting the demons and the satans and all that stuff. Remember I said yesterday that these are the labels and the names we made up as human beings, especially with our color, folks. You know, those days we talk about the devil is so strong. That's what my grandmother used to say all the time. The devil is so strong. I used to say, why is she always saying that? And the more she kept saying that is the more she couldn't find the things that she tried to look for. Then I started repeating. I said, Lord, I can't find the papers. I can't find this. And I was repeating it too. And after a while I said, there is no such thing. You heard me. It's a name that we created. And actually, that planet is Satan, is from Saturn. That's where it derived from. And so what we're actually doing is we're clearing out and we're paying attention to the demons that are within us. Okay, not something scary like the boogeyman in the closet. This is what I'm talking about, like all the things that we've been fighting within ourselves and the fears that we've built up and had for so long. You know, it's like they said, be careful about when we put it out there as far as fears, because fears is false evidence appearing real. False evidence. Yes, hello, Tavon. Greetings, my brother. How are you doing today? Tell me what's going on, what you've been feeling with these wonderful, intense, beautiful frequencies. That's non-stop. There's no breaking in between with any of this. You know what I mean? So I'm just sharing some of the stuff that what have been happening, you know, for me today, creating miracles too, of course, and the intensity of this portal. The portal is actually the shift in timelines. You know, we're shifting into timelines for if you choose. So you can either keep recreating the same world of stuff that you've been going through repeatedly that you don't like, or you can start to shift it and recreate and create a new reality. Okay, it takes somewhat of a practice, and it becomes, after a while, it becomes so natural for you. Yes, Holly, the water is so amazing. It feels so peaceful. I'm just sending water and life to each and every one of you who's seeing this in my background. I was just pulled to just come here by the water where I am in Haverstraw. This is called Haverstraw, New York. I'm going to show the background again, the mountains, because I'm always up near the mountains. That's where I receive a lot of divine messages. Lots of divine messages. And here you could see in the background, I'm here. What happens is that anybody who wants to go to Manhattan in the city, they take the marina comes and brings them by a certain time frame, just like the Staten Island ferry. And they can come up here to Rockland County, New York. Okay? So anyway, let's get back to the more even more amazing things while I'm here by the water. Let's talk about the lion again, the heart of the lion. You know, I said we're back into a frame energy of the heart consciousness, you know, and the heart consciousness meaning that we are connecting to the heart of God. We're starting to live life in the fifth dimension and higher. Okay, and that means that we are connecting more to one another telepathically, more than just speaking words. You know, it's like some people have said that there are moments where they can't even find the words to speak anymore. It's like you're fumbling, you know, and you're not retarded. You're not, you know, sick or anything wrong with you. It's just how things are breaking down. Because remember, back in the beginning of time, we started communication in terms of using symbols. Then we created, you know, have colors, words, sentences, paragraphs, books, and all these things. And, you know, the one thing that I'm supposed to talk about that I didn't get to talk about yesterday is communication. Because communication is one of the huge, biggest, I'm going to say it like a child, the biggest, gigantic thing in the world that has caused a lot of chaos on the planet. Why? Because there's so many ways to interpret what was written. And that's why I don't go by just the old stuff. You know, Spirit says we stay in the new, we stay in the now, and connect from our hearts and our souls to what the divine is speaking to us, okay? From a higher level. Take it higher sometime, you know, higher. Here is song by Barma, the Lion in Zion. That's right. You hear a little bit of reggae in the background. And I declare and decree the songs and everything is going to stay and remain as it is. And so it is. No interruptions. So anyway, Iron, Zion, Lion, right? The heart of a lion. Some people think that the lions are always, you know, are here to attack us. But, you know, the way how Spirit showed it to me is that we're going to be recreating back again to those times in life when even the animals are coexisting with us and there's no more attacks on the earth. I had several dreams where the lions were in my yard, beautiful white lions, and that's how it was back in Egypt. I've had where I saw elephants were, you know, coming in my yard and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? And every creature, everything that has been created by God is coexisting together, that we choose. You know what I'm saying? And so when you think about the lion, I want to go back again to the Wizard of Oz. I love referring to children's stories. You know why? Because they're simple and it's easy for everyone to understand. And sometimes when we keep on attuning to how we're healing the inner child, that also keeps things flowing abundantly. Okay, it's not just everything to say just as being an adult. You know what I'm saying? When you keep the child in you going and enjoy and playfulness and just don't give a rat's ass. That's what children are. You know how many times when I tell my kids, even when they're younger, don't do this, don't do that, and they're still going to do what they desire to do. You see what I'm saying? Enjoy. No matter what. They're not thinking about danger. They're not thinking about whether or not something is going to manifest what they desire. They're just going to keep at it until it happens. They'll wake up in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, determined to go get that cookie on the fridge top, what my sister used to do when she wanted her chocolate. You see what I'm saying? To satisfy her desire. You see? And so a lot of us here who have a lot of inner child desires and wounds that we're carrying to be healed, it's important to release that and to look at what it is that you feel that you have been deprived, or what's been missing, or what needs to be healed, to do with yourself and your mother. Okay, especially your mother. You know, when the mother energy is of need to be healed, a lot of times people take that into their relationships, and then it goes on and on and on, and then they do the same thing with their children, and then that repeats itself. So when I go back to the lion now in the Wizard of Oz, what did he desire? Please don't call me on the Facebook thing or I'm going to block you, okay? Thank you. So anyway, the lion desired to have courage, right? He desired to have courage, and he didn't know how to get it. So he wanted to go to see the Wiz to have courage, right? So all this time he was pretending like he was scaring people, you know, although the bullies out there, you know, even the ones who are bullies, they have issues too. And usually the bully desires something as well to be healed, and then it's reflective. Michelle. Hey, my sister. No, that's my blood sister. My sister Michelle. Love you, Michelle. My sister. She used to teeth all the chocolate all the while. I used to get in trouble for it too. But anyway. Okay, so this person that keeps calling, I'm going to block you, right? If you call me one more time, I'm seriously going to block you. Because anyway, my apologies. This person keeps on calling and can't get them on. So anyway, when we think about the lion, we think about courage once again. And all along what ended up... Okay, I'm back. I had to block this person because they wouldn't stop calling. So anyway, that's how it goes. I don't like doing it, but sometimes a girl has got to do what a girl's got to do. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I didn't lose my train of thought with all of this. So, the lion, he was cowardly, and he tried to be a bully in so many ways, as far as when he tried to scare Dorothy. And I don't remember if it was the Scarecrow or the Tin Man that was with her first, who was first, second, third, or whatever. And eventually what happened, you know, skipping straight to the point, is that he had courage all along. He did. And oftentimes we look for approval from others. We look for validation from someone or something as far as what we desire to do and to be and all of that. And so this is a part of us coming not only with the connection that we're having to, you know, to the heart of God and who we're connected to, but also having the courage to be who you are. And, you know, as I said yesterday, that you're not concerned about what anyone else may say or feel about it, okay, or about you, any judgments. And, you know, we go back to relationships, you know, the relationships, and every relationship that you have is an extension of you. It's an extension of you. And so we start with ourselves first. Then we start with the relationships we may have with our children. Look at all those who have children, how each child that you have, like mine, that represent you and what's healing. So the minute you open your mouth and say that, and start calling the names, think about why you feel the way that you feel, what's coming up, what is reflecting. Even if you're taking it in a joking way, it's okay. Okay? And so all of these energies that are occurring right now, as far as the Lion's Gate, the full moon, and then we also Mercury retrograde, that's on the 12th, and that's going to be in retrograde up until the 5th of September. And no matter what, everyone is reviewing things to do with their lives or pondering on what they may have wanted to do. And if anything, like I said, that you feel that you've always wanted to do, that's where the child, the inner child comes in, then do it, okay? Then do it, no matter what it is. Don't allow yourself to be in the way, because I always say that the only one who stops you from being you and what you desire to do is you. It's only you. There is no special age or category or anything. You could even manifest the things that you've desired to do even without having money. Sometimes we stop ourselves because of that. I have manifested so many things without having the physical money, because those are the things that are also changing and shifting on the earth, is how we're heading back to bartering. Do you know what that means? That means that if one person has a particular service that they can offer, that you can trade with that person and offer that service or goods, you know, because even back in those days is where you planted things in your gardens or you made arts and crafts or whatever, and we trade with one another. So for some of you right now, if you feel there's something you desire and you want to have it and you haven't had it, then think on those lines of how you can manifest things without, you know, thinking that it has to be at a particular time in a particular way. All of those type of structures and belief systems is what we are shifting and changing drastically with how we have done things in the past, in every single way, even and including the food we eat. And you know, I had issues still that was going on with, you know, my light and gas and the utilities, and you know, then so teeth, I have to go in a part2 on the teeth, and so I think about all these things are changing, because we're not supposed to be paying for water, we're not supposed to be paying for light. We have the solar, the sun, that's free. We are meant to be free. So once again, we're back to the Aquarian aspect of freedom. Freedom in every way possible. Freedom with who we love, where we want to be, where we choose. The land and everything is free. God said, everything that I have given unto you, bless it and keep it, right? And take care of it, you see? And that is our responsibility and choices to where we place ourselves and how we want to be and where we want to have it and how we want to have it. Choosing. It's a choice. Instead of waiting and anticipating for some politician or someone to come along and regulate it for you. Do you understand that the power is within you, and the power starts to come together with the people? You are the people. You are the power that's within you. So remember the courage that you have. Think about the lion and the courage that the lion has. Think about the story about the little engine that could. I think I can. I know I can. I know I can. There's a difference. I know I can more than I hope. You see? More than I hope. So anything that you might be feeling with these energies, remember that you might be feeling pains and aches in your body. Some might be having itching and all of that stuff. You might feel like sometimes you don't want to eat. You might be having sleepy feelings. Hey, Danielle, love you too. That's right. We are the power. Power to the people. That's right. And it feels great. It really feels great. When you can wake up in the morning or at nighttime, whatever time, because, you know, there is no special time with all of this, because time is happening now. And when I think about how much more things are shifting with us, that even your body is shifting to do with the ascension. It is shifting, constantly shifting. So remember that when I spoke about yesterday, the elements, all the elements of who we are. Do you know that we started out being all of this where I am right now? We started out as the water. We started out as the grass. We started as the stones. We started as the air. Everything we have, evolved. That's it. We are constantly evolving. And so we're evolving more and more and more into the beings that we are naturally in joy. We were naturally made to be in joy as the sexual beings that we are. Yes, indeed. So anyway, another thing that I did not get to discuss yesterday, if anyone has any questions at all, anything that you would like me to discuss, please feel free to do that now. Forever, do not hold your peace. Just let it all out. We're not meant to keep things inside of us. We're to let it out. I mean, you keep it in and you let it out. Just like when you go to the toilet, you eat, we process through and we let it out and keep going with the divine flow. Do you see how peaceful? And do you hear how peaceful the water is? It is so peaceful. Look at that. A tear came out from my eye naturally. I wasn't thinking of anything. That's just my soul processing through you know, the joy that I feel in my heart and soul, no matter what is happening. You see, no matter what is happening. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about death. not because I want anything to be morbid, but because I wanted to talk about it for it to be something that we can all understand, and being at peace with it. Okay, and I want you to know there's different types of death. So I had predicted and said already that a lot of deaths are going to be happening with some of us in our families. You know, it could be any family member, friends, anyone close to us. And I know that I've been hearing from, now there's noise coming in the background. I just want to let you know because boat is coming in with people that are coming from work or school or something. So if it gets louder, just give me an opportunity until it dissipates. And so this is happening to facilitate with the awakening on the planet. Okay, and why I say that, because some of us are choosing to ascend while we're in the physical body, and some of us are choosing to ascend while we're out of the body. And it's a choice, and it's a choice that's made within each soul. And of course, the divine timing with that too, as well, is that some are choosing to ascend out of the body to even assist and help for those who may be twin flames, or anyone who's on the ascension path, and it's necessary to trigger you to be like a catalyst to do with your awakening. Okay, and more often than ever, they are also going through what you call training to be your spirit guide for the next part of your journey. So I know that to lose a loved one is painful, because you know, my mom, she's on the other side, and I miss her. I do. There's times when I miss her. She's been passed since 1999. And even though she's passed, you know what? She's helped me more being on the other side than when she was here physically. I mean, we're best friends. I used to talk to her every day. We're only 17 years apart, you know, that number 17. And she helps me tremendously, you know. So just know that I don't choose to call it death, but I call it a transition. It's a transition. And we're all going through some type of death, okay? So whether it's the death through coming, you know, from leaving out of your body, or a near death, where you almost leave out of your body, but you come back, or actual death and transformation, like an alchemical transformation is taking place, where that old parts of you, the old versions of you, is dying. And sometimes it gets to be so painful you feel like you're dying. I had some pain that was showing up on my leg, coming through on my leg, and it was excruciating. It's like somebody was pulling out my muscles out of my leg, and it was things that were coming up from a past life that Tavon was able to help me to understand, you know, because sometimes I like to talk with someone else who kind of understands, you know, what's going on with the energies, and to be able to, you know, to shift with it and how I move through it. So usually it'll be helpful to consult with someone that can kind of help you to pinpoint where something is coming from, because we do all have the power to heal ourselves and to heal each other. And a lot of these gifts are coming back. So as far as the, you know, the death is concerned, as far as what Spirit showed to me, is that there's a balance that's coming through. Sorry about the noise in the background. The balance is coming through where there are souls that are coming in from the other side as far as babies, because a lot of people are going to be, when I say a lot of people, I don't mean like everybody. There are a lot of new pregnancies and births that are going to be coming in. And this is based on children coming in who are either indigo or golden, and they're coming from the higher dimensions, and they're not coming in with anything to do with karma. They're not coming in to do with any type of frequency of having to heal. They're already coming in. He said you and your twin had a surprise baby. Oh, congratulations. What a sweet baby. Oh my goodness. And coming in with I should say, where they already know, and they're going to be giving us even more divine messages that are coming with that higher frequency. So even children that are I would say born or coming from twin souls is of a higher frequency. And even if you are a twin and you have children that you did not have with your twin, that's still your twin's children, because you share the same. Oh yes, honey, the birth control, I talk about that in the book, where I said I don't business how much birth control you use. It is meant to be, you're going to conceive. It's the conception, that there's a lot of immaculate conceptions that are going to be occurring, and it's going to continue. And even for women, and then you know women, that some of you will just be immaculately conceiving even past the age of 50 or more. That's right. Because there are even some women that I have told them, I said, oh, I see a baby. Oh, no, that can't happen. Oh, I don't have no cycle. Oh, and the next thing you know, I hear that they're having a cycle again, or they've never had a cycle. There's some of you who may have something that may appear like you're going through menopause, but it is not necessarily the menopause itself. It's a spiritual thing that is happening. I even went through a spiritual pregnancy, an actual spiritual pregnancy where my feet were swollen. I had no cycle at all, and it went on for 9 months, and I was so blown. I had to put my foot up on it, and then finally I gave birth, and I could feel the whole thing. And it's a huge spiritual transformation that was happening with me. Okay, there might even be some males that might be going through spiritual pregnancy. It's not just females that may feel it, but of course it's going to be more stronger for those who are who are females in the physical body. See what I'm saying? Another thing too, since we're talking about babies, is that a lot of twins are also I would say 8 times out of 10 are going to have twins, because remember, we are changing the template of the masculine and the feminine. Okay, and that means that like I said, these children are being conceived with more balance. If you have had a miscarriage, anyone who has had a miscarriage, please know that that child is coming back again. Okay, the child is coming back again. I did explain this to someone. I went to a shower on Saturday, and I don't remember who I told this one. I told them, I said 9 times out of 10, the soul of the child is not going to come in and descend completely into the mother's womb until about 2 weeks before the delivery. Okay, so, and everything is happening divinely, just the way it is supposed to. It's not going to may not come out perfect exactly the way you want it to be. Like some people may hold on to saying, oh, I got to get married if I get pregnant, or no, this is not holding on to those old paradigms of what relationships should be like. They are sacred. We are I'm not going to say heading into. We are pulling together more and more sacred relationships. It's a sacred relationship. This is a sacred time. Everything is sacred. The listening is sacred. How we communicate with one another is sacred. Very, very sacred. So as far as the death is concerned, as I indicated to you, there may be some who are experiencing death with a parent. Understand that sometimes that death that may be through the lineage is something that's dying, especially to do with the patriarchy, something that's dying to do with what you are connected to do with your generational line. That's right. Okay, so it doesn't have to necessarily, I don't want to just put it all on just the masculine energy, but it can be both. It can be both. And as I stated before, I'm not saying that going through this means that you don't go through a mourning period, but after a while, you find yourself coming to some type of peace. And, you know, when you apply the wisdom to it, then you will understand that it has to do with the ascension and the awakening that's happening within you. And it is also to do with even that soul itself, because even our loved ones or friends who cross over to the other side, they are still I would say observing. They're still partaking in what is happening in your life, and they will communicate with you. If you are open to that, it will happen. Okay, it will happen. So there are some people who do what we call die and leave, and they're not settled, and they're still wandering around because they may not be in acceptance of not being in their physical body. But either way, the great news is that the veil is getting thinner and thinner, and that veil also means, besides what has been covering our minds and thoughts as far as the truth, is that we will see them, okay, and feel them. You will feel our loved ones communicating to us. You already have, some of you have your guides that are trying to get your attention so much that you're not listening and paying attention, and messages, okay? Some of us may not even necessarily need angels and spirit guides anymore, because we are on a higher path of self-mastery. And you just remember your true connection to the divine. Okay, that's the place where we're heading to. That's a place where, that's what I call heading to, where you are remembering more and more, becoming more empowered within yourself, trusting the messages. It's like living magically. Okay, magically. And living magically means that we are recreating, and we're making all of this magical things happen before us and around us, and so on, every single step of the way. Okay, and that means that you're trusting, believing, and knowing that, and remembering more of who you are. Okay, so does anybody have any questions in the meantime while I'm just doing everything off of my memory and what else to do with death? Also, I also wanted to point out also death to do with those who are twins, and there are some twins who have lost their twins through death. This is what has been told to me before, which I'm going to repeat this now as you're hearing it from me, is that almost just about everyone is going to come into their own divine union. Okay, I'm talking physical, and when I say physical is because this is the time, this is the lifetime that we are shifting everything within ourselves, and also what is shifting outside of ourselves. Do know that everything to do with coming into union also includes everyone that's in your circle. Coming into union is not just about to do just with you and your twin. It's not an exclusive thing. So it's so much intricacy involved to understand that, okay? So when I say union, that means that if you're not at peace with someone who's in your life, and I'm not talking when you're in separation from other people, even if you're in separation with someone, that you're still in peace with them, you still send them love, but you're still honoring yourself at the same time, okay? And even for some who have lost their twin through death, or some have committed suicide because they can't take the intensity of the energy, it's too much for them to handle. In most cases, I heard that some of them will be coming through as walk-ins, like a walk-in soul. And you remember the twin flame concept. It's an energy. It's a connection. Okay? It's a connection. And that connection is deep. It is like no other love that you have ever experienced in your entire life. Now, one of the other purposes of twins is that that love that you have with your twin or your divine complement is what others will feel it, and they too will experience this twin flame love with others. Okay? And it is a higher love. It's a higher love. It's no other love that it's like really remembering this true love that God has for us is what is experienced through that person who's your divine partner. We all have a divine partner, all of us, okay? Everything has been created for us and recreated for us, and it becomes a choice on what you choose to have. If you feel that you will not be love or have love, then you shall not experience it. If you believe and know that you will, then you shall, okay? Because it still has to do with how you are aligning with what you know and feel and believe and trust, and not doubting, and because you're going by what you're seeing. Because remember what I said yesterday, that we all see things from different perspective. Your twin is your mirror, and so whatever comes up for healing is going to mirror the strongest with your twin soul. Okay? And I know for some that may not understand what that means unless you're going through it. I know what it feels like. And when you can see it for what it is, okay, and not judge and call names, because if you're calling your twin names, or you're judging your twin or your divine complement or anyone that is your higher soulmate name, you're talking about yourself. Okay, what I do, I just laugh through things sometimes, and if you have to cuss, you cuss, but just remember everything is reflecting, and just know that as your twin, it's just like more intense. It's more intense is what I call it. That's what I call it. So I hope that helps for some of you who are experiencing death in your family, to know that yes, it's a time of mourning, but then there's also a time of rejoicing. And I say rejoicing because we're all ascending at some point, you know, and even if you choose not to, it's still happening. And even for those who are not, you know, the way how God showed it to me is that there's some who may come and go up here, then they stay stuck, and then they move forward some more. And we don't know that there might be some that are still down, still, you know, entrapped in the matrix, as we call it, and the third dimensional concept, and they may just shoot right back up in it. So it's not important to concern yourself and worry about where anyone else is with their journey. Okay, it's important to focus on your own journey. Okay, you said, Justin, oh my God, yes, it's the most complex research. Oh, yes, it is. It's complex. I call it, it's beautiful and joyful and painful at the same time. But you're not learning any lessons. your twin is actually catalyzing you to remember more of yourself. You know, because I even joke with God, and I joke with God all the time. I said, you know, you're so clever. It's almost like dangling a carrot in front of you and say, oh, you want this? You want this? Okay, you got to work on it. You got to work on it. But it's not in that way. I just say it in that way as a joke. And know that you couldn't have it any other way. You don't want to go into... We don't want to create any more relationships where we're in, like a war zone. You see what I'm saying? We're heading towards having our peaceful partnerships and our peaceful relationship, really partnering together where there's no more separation and no more gender attacks against, you know, each other and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's almost like even whatever I might be feeling and going through, the other person will, because it's like placing yourself in someone else's shoes and also remembering your own shoes at the same time. In other words, if you know that you're going to say something to someone and you're having an experience and you have the ability to feel how they're feeling and remembering how you're feeling and honoring yourself and them at the same time, then that is what brings more peace on the planet. But if anyone feels that they want to attack someone or attack something with not even understanding what the soul is up to, because our souls are up to something each and every single day. So the minute before you open your mouth and speak or whatever, which I know sometimes we do things impulsively. I do too. I am not perfect, you know, and I go through it to myself and I catch myself and I say, oh, what's that? Because I always go higher first. I tell people, I said, you know how many times I said, okay, let's go higher first. And then if you need to cuss afterwards, then do so. Okay? Because that's a part of how we're ascending and descending and balancing out, you know, with ourselves and our feelings and our thoughts and all of this. You know what I mean? And, you know, and for twins, you know, I'm glad I'm talking more because I usually don't have as much twin flame talk. The more you understand that your twin is you, they really are you. Okay? They are you. And everything that you're feeling internally, your feelings, you know, because I say that the feelings is the strongest language of the soul, you know, because as we think the thought and then we start having the feelings, that feeling is what you are connecting to each and every person, each and everything, to source and all of that. And it really does outwardly manifest from your twin in a physical way. It really does. And so if you're holding on tight to something, to how you want it to be, when you expect it to be, with timing, or if they're with someone else, or if they're not communicating, or if anything, I do know and understand that all of this is happening and it comes into place because of where Spirit has you to look at something. And even if you have to cry it out at that moment, then do so, you know, because we're healing a lot of our emotional bodies. We really are. And with that, it takes courage. It does take a lot of courage, because you do feel like as if you're in an insane asylum. I know. And so I say, this is what I say. I said, you know what? We're crazy and we're not crazy, because you have to be out of your mind, and stay in your heart also. Out of your mind. Don't stay in that chitter chatter in your head, la, this, that, on and on and on, because then what it does, it will cause you to feel more pain. And so how do you release that pain within yourself is by letting go, once again, as I said before, and surrendering. Letting go and surrendering, and letting go of expectations. Letting go of expectations, not putting it out there to how you want things to be, or worrying about the future. Stay present. Stay present as always. Okay? So does anyone have any questions that you would like to ask me, or anything that I've spoken about, anything at all? Please remember to, you know, to love yourselves and treat yourselves. You know, I really truly believe that for us as human beings on the planet, that the more we nurture ourselves and love ourselves, is the more it is reflecting back to someone else, and you don't even have to say anything. They just feel it, you know, they just feel it. And as we all start to feel it within ourselves with that connection, it becomes more powerful. You know, can you just imagine what this world is going to be like when, for those who are on this path, really on this path, and hey, I know there's moments when you just want to give up and say, fuck this shit. I have so many times. I had that dream where I wanted to fall back in the ocean, you know, and not in a sense to say that I want to kill myself. I just want it out. I was like, what is this, you know? And it's okay, because There's always something that holds us back and brings us back into alignment again. So if you feel that you have those feelings of what you're going through and that you feel all alone, just ask God to send someone or a message, and you will receive it, and you will have some type of hope and encouragement, and know that there is no wrong way or right way to any of this. It just is. Just be you. Be the crazy you. If you want to put on black makeup, pink hair, blue hair, black eyes, purple eyes, no bra. I did no bra for 4 days. It felt so good to have my breast free. Oh my God, it was one of the best things I ever did for myself. If you want to wear panties, no panties. Whatever you choose to be. This is a part of our freedom within ourselves, because the feminine is free. That's right. You heard me. She is free, and that freedom is within you also, because, the masculine energy holds things together in a solidified space. And then with the feminine, she's in expression. And so whatever the masculine desires is in the mind, and then we bring it into the heart together, and this is how we connect from heart to mind, and we bring ourselves together with this in love. You see what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, Daniela, you're welcome. Justin, you are so welcome. Oh, okay, Justin. Okay. Nikki, you said you struggle with forgiveness and you don't really know how to not have that issue. What is it? Okay. When it comes to forgiveness, first of all, I think about when we are in that space of forgiving, we're not forgiving because we are expecting something to come from the person or the situation that we're seeking forgiveness from. The forgiveness is for you. It's for you because what it does, it places you in a position of feeling free again, once again, back to that freedom. Because it's something that you let go. It's like I say, we can remember the things that we've experienced in the past. Like when I spoke about slavery and all the things that's happened to our indigenous people, and everyone has gone through some type of oppression or thing. And I don't want to compare who's had it worse than the other. It doesn't matter. Everything's happened for its purpose and its reasoning. Now, how can we move forward with this? How can you move forward with what you have been experiencing and let go? Because I feel like as if it affects you, in the lower parts of your body, okay? Because I could feel like this tenseness, right, in your stomach area and stuff like that. And sometimes I could feel the tears that comes from what you're experiencing. And I feel the anger also. I feel that you have as well with that. And like I said, when you allow yourself to forgive, now, you may not be able to forget, but at sometimes when we go through certain things, when you can't deal with it anymore, then you just leave it to the divine. You leave it to God and let it go. And you know what? I even often find that even for myself, when it comes to forgiving someone, and I usually have a lot of patience and tolerance with a lot of things. And yes, I could feel the tension in the lower part of your body. So what I would love for you to do, okay, right now as I'm speaking to you, is to go outside. Go outside right now and let me know when you're outside, and I'll tell you what to do so you can start shifting out that energy of anger that you have. Because I feel like if you continue on this anger path, you're going to start to manifest things in your body, because that's what it does when you hold things inside. It starts to manifest into something physical, diseases. That's what a disease is, when you are holding things within yourself that's not healthy for you anymore. Okay? And if you need to scream and shout, then do that and write it down. I often tell people when we want to work on releasing things from our space is we write things out, burn it, not in the house, but burn it and bury it someplace out away from the space of where your home is. I really highly suggest, okay, you're outside now. Okay, so what I want you to do is, and tears are coming out of my right eye also. So that's telling me my soul is responding to you that has to do with that masculine side, because your right side represents your masculine. And it's like there's a part of you from the past where it's cold and this anger and meanness, and it's like as if you're experiencing whatever it is you have with this person. It's like you're experiencing how they had treated you back then, and now it's time for you to let go, so to release that karmic energy. Okay? And so what I want you to do is first to inhale and exhale. And if any of you are on this line right now going through the same type of experience when it comes to forgiveness and letting go, do the same thing. I want you to inhale again and exhale, okay? And then I want you to say some affirmations. I am love, I am joy, I am peace. Whatever it is that I have felt that has happened, that I perceive as what is against me, I know that it is all perfect just the way it is. And so from this day forward, I release anything and all things that do not serve me through my mind, my body, and my soul. And so it is, because I am love. I am peace. I am light, and I am integrating the darkness that I feel within me with this light. And it is all perfect. And so it is. Okay, so I hope that helps you. And you could keep doing that every day. I also recommend for you to take some Epsom salt baths, so you can also transfer that energy out through the salt. Or if you're in a place where you can go to the beach or go by the water, because water is very healing. Very, very healing. You see, it's so quiet now. Almost everybody's left. I'm here, not by myself, but it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. I have so much tears coming out of my eyes. I feel like as if a lot of us here are doing a lot of releasing. If you're feeling any releasing coming from you, just know that it's okay. If you find yourself, even after I come off, that you're crying and you don't know why you're crying, that's a part of the process of how we are working through these energies, and that it's okay. Okay, all right. And then, see, Tovan, you're asking, why are your exes coming on your very lately? Okay, you know I'm not laughing at you, right? I'm just laughing with you. Okay, your exes are coming. What I'm feeling is that they're coming in the drum loads. Woo, my goodness. First of all, you know, I can't say anything I want to say. You're hot. You're hot, man. You're hot. But anyway, what you're doing is you are pulling together yourself through them. And I can't say it's just like healing. It's almost like when an alarm goes off, and as if they all know that something's going on with Tavon. What's going on here? I could feel love coming into his space stronger and stronger and stronger. And so it's like an alarm goes off. So because you're connected to them, they're reaching out to you. Because I was asking Spirit while I'm talking to you, Spirit is talking to me. I said, is he healing something? Is he healing something? It feels minor. It doesn't feel like, and so this is new for you, because I feel like as if you haven't had that attention. And you remember what happened to you last week? Was it last week, I think, when you got a proposal, and I said that that energy and frequency is also coming from what your divine counterpart is communicating with you. And so usually what happens when we feel this energy, it happens with twins a lot, then all of a sudden you have all these males and everyone is just loving you and coming back, and oftentimes what happens is that that's where the rewinding comes back again, with things that we've experienced with someone, or things that we've experienced in other lives, and then it's showing up through others that we have had experiences with. Remember that anything that you are experiencing with anyone, it's an energy that is integrating and healing and coming together from other lifetimes that you've had with them. And that even includes love. I also feel that you're also healing the stigmas around love to do with your exes as well. And even as you are bringing this all together, they are also healing as well. If that makes any sense to you, if you understand where I'm coming from with that. And enjoy what that feeling is like to have, I say it like a little, I would say it's sort of like an attention in a way, because you have kind of held back on what it's like to feel this type of invigorating type of love. And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid with what it feels like. And try not to define it so much, because you go in your head sometimes, you're like, well, what is this? What is that? What does that mean? What is it doing for me? Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's okay. Just go, stay in that flow of what you're experiencing. And I feel with one of them kind of irritates you a lot, and don't worry about it. Let go of that person that irritates you, one of them that irritates you, because I could feel the irritation with one of them, like they're annoying or something. And it's okay. That's their personality. Okay. You said, yeah, because I can hear you. I hear you with them, like, oh, what the fuck? I can hear it. So it's okay. It's all right, because even the irritation that you're getting from that person is something that you are working to, because they almost feel like they're like clingy, you know, like a clingy type of energy. And you know, when we have anybody that's kind of clingy, it can be quite annoying, you know. And you're quite independent, and you know, we know that we're shifting away from how we view love and relationships as far as being clingy and codependent and all of that. Okay, so it's gonna pass. It's just an energy that's gonna pass, and that's all. So, is anybody? I hope that helped you, my love. Anybody else have any questions you'd like to ask me? Feel free to ask me, as I'm going to say a little I should say, what did I do with the music? Some little light language. I would say I'm going to utilize that. I don't want to lose my paper. I'm going to utilize that while I'm here by the water, and I'm trying to see if I see the full moon anywhere, but I don't. So maybe it's too cloudy or something, but you know what, doesn't matter. The energies are still here. Danielle, you're welcome. Tavon, what's up with you and your guides? ATM. When you say ATM, you make me think about a bank. So can you spell it? What you and your guides? What is ATM? Because I think that one I'm stumped with, because I know there's so many linguals. Oh, another boat is coming in. You see that? Oh, at the moment. Oh, sorry. Okay. You're laughing. Okay, I'm hearing that you are not trusting, Danielle. You're not trusting, and you're so what are you so nervous about? Why I feel to pick up on this nervousness with you and anxiety? Because you know, when we are anxious and filled with anxiety, it can be quite more challenging to receive the energy flow that's coming, just to receive the messages. You know what I mean? So I could see that you've been smoking more than ever before sometimes, and I feel that you're working through some healing with your root chakra. Okay, and there's something, you're so nervous, something that you're like pacing back and forth, and it's just such an intensity with you with that. And relax and do a little extra meditation for yourself, okay? And really go outside to ground your feet so you can release this anxiety and what you're in fear of so much, because I'm just feeling all this fear right in this area right here. I'm feeling all that fear. Okay. Well, stop worrying, because you're a worry wart, okay? Stop worrying. You promise? You don't need to worry about I know that I trust. Remember, I'm a mom too, you know. So well, let go of any fear that you have. Let go of the fear, because it's so intense that I'm feeling it. Because you know, if you keep focusing on it, then guess what? Then it's gonna manifest. So whatever you don't choose to experience, don't focus on it. Okay, don't focus on it. Let it go. And there's nothing for you to fear anyway. Okay, because I think that you're creating stories also. So release those stories. Everything is going to be fine. Okay, everything is going to be fine. So you do the same thing too. Blow it out. Everything what I did with was it Justin? What I did with, do the same thing for yourself. Oh, excuse me. And it's like I'm belching for you. I'm feeling it, and it's like like an indigestion. Are you having issues with eating, like you're not eating? Because it's just so much anxiety around you. So please take a sea salt bath tonight, or you know, you're in New Jersey. I don't mean to tell where you live, but go to the beach, go by the water. You need to get some sea salt around you, okay? You really need to get that, so that way you can clear all that anxiety around you. I mean, you make me feel nervous now too. So, because I'm feeling it all in your body, you know? I'm feeling it all in your body. So do that for yourself, okay? And do you eat apples? Are you eating apples or something? Is that your favorite fruit? Or you make things with apples, apple pie, apple juice, apple custard? I don't know what it is. So they're showing me something to do with apples. Mama, you said, oh shit, mama. What do you mean? No apples? Okay, so I don't know. They're showing me the fruit apple, so maybe if you should eat apples or something, if that's anything that might help you to stay settled. I mean, that's very unusual for me to see that, but see if that will help, you know, because remember, you know, we're working with things that we eat to help us with what we're feeling also with our bodies, you know, and it's like I'm being shown like, and try do that and tell me what happens. Okay, just get some apples and make some apple juice or things, something with apples, and see what it may do for you. Okay, let me see who else is asking me. Okay, what about any tips on uncrossing? Okay, all right, when we talk about spells, honey, let me say something to you about that when it comes to spells. First of all, again, this is about consciousness and what we believe in. If you believe that someone can do something to you, then it can do so. I do believe that people do have negative thoughts that they can have on someone, and they project energy towards you. Okay, that part I can say, because I can't tell you what to believe in, but I can sure tell you what you can do to alleviate and shift the thought and energy towards what you're experiencing. Look at that, see the tear, another tear coming out of my eye again. We're processing here. We're processing here. It's like tears are coming out of my eye. So let go of believing. It's a belief that someone is putting a ritual on you, because it can't work unless you believe it can work. Okay, and this is about you empowering yourself. So it's time for you to empower yourself and to remember the goddess that you are. Okay, and know that your twin's ex-wife is showing you something that's coming up for you to look at that you experienced in a past life, because a lot of things is that happen and occurs based on what somebody's telling you. I feel like somebody's feeding this into your soul, so please let it go. And look at that, I'm crying again. So it's like as if this has never happened to me like this. Wow. So this is for you to let go of that belief, okay? And remember that even in the midst of who may appear as the dark, okay, the dark is going to show up as the light within you, and how you look at it and how you view it, and then it will start to shift and change. Okay, that's how it works. I remember there was one time in my life, I'll share this with you, it's a true story. Someone I hated. I don't usually hate anybody, okay? And so I had to come to a point with, how do I allow myself not to hate this person, because I hated this person because of all the things that I experienced with this person. And so I had to see this person in a different way, in a different light, as love. Even though there were things that occurred to do with me and this person for so long and for so many times. And so things eventually shifted because I shifted. I shifted my thoughts. Now, it doesn't mean that I accepted, you know, all the things that I experienced, but I sure came to a greater understanding of it. And what it did, just like forgiveness, is that I was able to let go. Now, did it happen overnight? No, it took a while. It took years, but it happened. It happened. And then that energy just went away. So whenever the energy of anything you're experiencing comes into your space, always stop and think, what is the divine showing me? What are my spirit guides showing me? What is my twin showing me? What is this one showing me? What am I healing? What am I letting go so I can move forward? And sometimes it's going to come back again in another month or 2 weeks. You're like, what the heck? You know, you get tired of it. But you see, remember, we're going deep. This is the deep times now for us. We go deep, we go wide, and we go high. It's always how it goes with messages and experiences. Go high, wide, and deep. Okay? So I hope that helps. If you would like to have a more in-depth reading with me, please feel free to send me an email at the garden. Look at, I'm crying again. The Garden of Eden 1111 at gmail.com. I'll ask one more question, and then I just want to say a little light language on this day. You're welcome. Look at that, I'm crying. I'm crying. So okay. So Lauren. Okay, Lauren, you're the last one I'm going to ask the question for. You're trying to figure out if you should be patient with your breakthrough. Absolutely. Having faith that God will present me with an opportunity, or do I go and try to make things happen? Okay. Okay, so it seems like you're asking me like a double question. So it's almost like you're asking if you should move forward with doing something physically, or should you just wait on. I'm kind of getting, the minute I started reading it, I'm kind of getting to stay in the middle and to stay focused. Okay, now the first thing I always say is, what is your first gut feeling? Okay, if there is something that is showing for you, okay, is it something that you wanted to do to promote yourself, to increase your salary, increase your income? Then I say yes, go for it, because you're to speak up, you're to open your mouth, to know your self-worth. Okay, know your self-worth. This is about your self-worth. So yes, put your foot forward in front of it, and don't put stories in your head like, what is this one going to think, or what if it doesn't happen, or what if it's not the right time? Yes, because the mere fact that you're asking the question, that's like you're getting your validation right now. So yes, I'm hearing you are to do it, and have confidence. Okay, I'm looking over here because I'm seeing the visuals of this. So have confidence in yourself, and it's time. You've been waiting for a long time for things to change in your life when it comes to your career anyway, and I feel there's more than one thing that you're going to be doing anyway in your life when it comes to your career. And you are ready to shine. You're ready to move forward. You're ready for a new beginning, and you're ready for things to start happening faster for you, because I feel like you're bored also, and you're propelling. You're just at that place now where you're just propelling for something to happen, for something to manifest. So, you know, I say that the way we balance things out is we do something in the physical. So whatever you have to do, if it means fill out an application, if it means making a phone call, if you're trying to give yourself a raise, do whatever it takes to do that for you. Yeah, you're bored. I could feel the boredom. I know. Remember, the power of manifestation lies within you. You know, because, you know, they say that God helps those who help themselves. You expect it to happen. You know, it's like I tell the kids, I said, you got to go outside to catch the bus. The bus is not going to come in the house. So what are you doing in the house and it's late? Okay? You put yourself on the bus. And, you know, I'm glad you asked me that question, because this is what the portal is also. It's like some of us are on the train, okay, and we're at a certain we're on a certain stop, and then we're taking that train to the next stop to get to another side, okay, and some of us are taking the ride and some of us are not, and those who are not, they're going to feel more stuff, and they're going to feel more uncomfortable and more pressure and stuff like that. Okay, so the more you surrender to your will and the will of God, is the happier and the freer you will be. Okay, so I hope that helps you. If anyone else needs or would like to have a reading, please, you can send me an email, or you can send me a message on Facebook Messenger. My email is thegardenofeden1111@gmail.com. And so I'm going to say a little meditation prayer again. Divine, Holy Mother, Father God, I want to thank you for bringing us all here. I mean, we're all gathered here. There's a lot of spirit around me and all of us right now. A lot. And there is just so much rejoicing. There's so much rejoicing because of the shifts that are happening within ourselves. And for each and every one of you who's listening, I'm being shown to just light yourself a white candle right by your, you know, whether you want to keep it by your night table or in your kitchen somewhere. Just light a candle for today as a representation of the light that you are shining on yourself for, you know, such great work that you're doing for you. And it's not work like a job. It's just the fact that you are allowing yourself to move through all of this and letting go of your fears. Okay, so I'm thankful and grateful for these Lion Gate portal energies. No matter what it brings us, that we are standing in our truth, and that we are even acclimating more of the courage that we are having within ourselves, and that we attain higher and higher wisdom, and also being able to assist one another and not being in fear. Thank you for the newness, the wonder, the amazement, the magic, and everything that we're doing to heal our inner child wounds and all of our, you know, the joys that we're looking for in our life, and knowing that it is done on earth as it is in heaven. Thank you for all the goddesses who are rising within themselves and the power they are remembering within themselves as we continue to, I wouldn't say trigger, but we're just activating one another, and that we're bringing in all this love and all this peace within ourselves as we're internally working through everything that we're doing to do with shifts with our relationships and to do with bringing back our true divine love and our true divine partnerships. And so on this day forward, as we continue, I'm thankful for everything that is happening and occurring for each and every one of us who's listening now and who continues to listen furthermore, that they do keep remembering themselves and remembering the power that is within them. Eshikenomina sakaye taso soibate shalemenete sekunde berebe amuru to shalembekitani mira mundi shai repete seleme soko shemera basara kata shelebeketo shlobeke na mekalomina shalabeke salamina I alameda takosumina mashila mada seketene me husamina shalabekina isaniano sotamina postolobi u ai May the light of the Christ consciousness be with each and every one of you. I love you. Namaste. Love you.